This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
A 7-year-old child is dead after a shooting in North St. Louis County. Tonight, investigators say they believe it was an accident. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
I'm Kelly Jackson. The boy was shot while in a truck on Larry Lane in Berkeley. Justina Coronel joins us live from the Berkeley Police Department tonight with the latest on this tragedy. Justina.
Yeah, Kelly and Mike, we're trying to learn exactly what happened earlier today. Now, police could only say so much, but they believe this shooting was an accident. Now, we've learned that this call came out to police at 10:20 this morning to an apartment complex on the 6700 block of Larry Lane. Police say the 7-year-old boy died inside a pickup truck. Now, police couldn't say if the boy was alone inside the truck. They couldn't elaborate what led to the shooting, pending investigation. Now, while we were there earlier today before noon, St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney Wesley Bell arrived to the scene. Just last week, St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb said she plans to propose a piece of legislation against gun violence, and Bell said he supports it.
I'm a supporter that, local government should be able to have more say-so, obviously, in how to manage and guns and gun safety. Local government should have an opportunity to be able to weigh in on, gun safety laws.
Bell called this shooting a tragedy and said more needs to be done to stop this. Now, as soon as we learn more information on this shooting, we'll make sure to update our website, KSTK.com. Reporting in St. Louis County, Justina Coronel, 5 on your side.
The major case squad is investigating after a pregnant woman was shot and killed in North St. Louis County. She was shot while inside a vehicle on Page in Wellston Saturday night. 2 other women were passengers in the car. One of them was also shot, but is expected to survive. Investigators say the victims did not know the person who shot them. Today, we talked to St. Martha's Hall. The group supports women who are affected by violence. They tell us women and children are often affected, especially when it comes to gun violence.
It's happening every day to our women and children. So whether it's domestic violence, if it was random, it was a gun. It was a firearm in the hands of somebody that did not deserve or have the right to have one.
Anyone with information on this shooting can call Crime Stoppers anonymously. That number, 866-371-TIPS.
We just want to warn you, some of the video we're about to show you may be hard to watch. Police are investigating a possible road rage incident after 2 people were hit by a truck near Busch Stadium. It happened just after 4 yesterday afternoon, soon after the Cardinals game ended. 2 people were hit by a black Dodge Ram, which drove off. Those people have minor injuries and were released from the hospital with just the last 2 hours. We spoke with the owners of the golf cart, and they tell us the truck rammed them multiple times while trying to leave a parking garage. Then they say they were out of the golf cart trying to get insurance information when the truck driver pulled out a knife before hitting them and speeding off. Police are still investigating.
2 expert homicide detectives are joining the St. Louis Police Department in a push to improve the city's murder clearance rate.
Department of Public Safety officials described the new efforts in a meeting with our political editor, Mark Maxwell.
A surge in violent crime swamped a city police department already struggling with staffing shortages during and after the pandemic. But early 2023, new signs that crime statistics are improving, at least in the murder clearance rate, with a big improvement. Now reinforcements on the way to help close that murder rate even faster. 2 retired homicide detectives with years of experience in this field are returning to the force to aid and assist with placing intelligence equipment in the right spots throughout the city, analyzing the data that they gather, mapping crime, and sending resources to solve cold cases or pursue leads in active murder investigations. The Department of Public Safety used $231,000 in federal grant funds to create these new positions.
There was a critical need there that we could address to immediately impact solving cases. What's always critical is giving victims justice. This is what this grant is for, justice, and providing victims with just that.
All told, the city secured more than $450,000 from the Justice Department in federal funds to help improve public safety. They plan to hire a 3rd person, a lawyer, to identify and solve some of the problem properties that plague parts of North St. Louis. But the bulk of the money going to these 2 new intelligence analyst positions to pay their full-time salary and benefits to help them solve murders faster. Reporting in St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Well, we've had a few showers today, but it came with cooler temperatures.
Let's check in with Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. Scott?
Well, you know, Mike and Kelly, it looks like we're in for a nice 24 to 36 hours, at least in most places here around the St. Louis area. Pretty comfortable and mainly on the dry side. We still have a few clouds here and there, but hasn't it turned out to be a much nicer afternoon, right? So we're looking at a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky out in Chesterfield now. And more important, it is very comfortable. Low 80s right now around the St. Louis area. Some spots just struggling in the 70s, close to 80 degrees, but that's a good struggle to have. So temperatures tonight, if you're heading over to the Muni, looking good. We're dropping back into the mid-70s. The clouds tending to break up and thin out. So we'll have a nice sunset over at the Muni. Rent is on stage. Tomorrow's a fine day. Looks like as we head into Wednesday, not so much so. We're going to break down the rain chances and the timing of the potential of any severe weather in just a little bit, Kelly.
All right, see you in a few, Scott. Heavy rain missed the metro but poured over our outlying farmland hard enough to wipe out some fields. 5 on your side's Tracy Henson checked in with farmers in Gasconade and Franklin counties about how they're faring and looked into whether last week's rain was a drought buster.
The weather has not been kind to farmers. Heavy rain and strong winds laid parts of this field near Edwardsville down. The corn there will likely be a total loss.
It's the worst of it.
And in Missouri, similar views. Mike Claycamp's hayfields in Gerald took a beating from the repeat rainfall last week.
The runoff from the water was so excessive that it broke the drainage levee, and it just basically took out that whole field. And you can see where it's just cutting across a field, so that's going to have to be repaired.
On the bright side, his alfalfa needed rain and rebounded beautifully from the downpours. Fellow farmer Terry Schweppe had a real go of it this summer. His soybeans burnt up in late June, early July. Now he's dealing with flooding, but he doesn't think all this rain is going to help the drought status.
We just have not had the normal, the soaking rains to keep the top wet enough to actually soak in. That's the kicker. So our drought monitor may drop somewhat,
but not significantly. Schweppe says 8 to 12 inches down, the ground is still dry. The recent rainfall came down so fast that it ran off instead of absorbing into the soil.
Well, Yellow Freight has officially declared bankruptcy. The trunking company shut down operations about a week ago. 30,000 people are now out of work, including hundreds here in the St. Louis area. The company received $700 million in COVID relief money. U.S. taxpayers will have to foot that bill if the company can't pay it back.
Tyson Foods is closing 4 chicken processing plants, including 2 in Missouri. The locations are in Dexter and Noel. One is in southeast Missouri. The other is in the southwest part of the state. The company is trying to cut back on cost. It's going to shift production to other facilities and close the plants by next year.
The strike in Hollywood continues tonight. Which films are already on hold?
Gay and bisexual men can now donate blood, but there are a few exceptions still in place.
Could people who get Medicaid or food stamps get a passport for free? We verify.